time Tocky and I make saves like this or this every weekend.
This morning we took on Hedon Rangers at Haworth Park. After last weekend's game against Tickton was called off, we looked to add a third win in a row after our wins over Bridlington and Springhead. But with how the game played out, I'm not going to show all the replays out of respect to Hedon. They only had 11 players, of which 2 of them was their first game, and this was a tough result for him. To be fair, they stuck right at it until the full-time whistle and didn't let their heads drop or argue between themselves. Other sides would have crumbled entirely and been at each other or just given up, but Hedon kept going, and that is a testament to them and their coaches. With that being said, we're into the match. Hedon had this early throw in which Archer won the ball back from the throw before Spencer nipped him. Sending the Hedon player inside and outside while playing it down the line to Chaz. He quickly slipped it off to Josh, who hit a pass over for Archie to chase. Hedon keeper narrowed the angle and Archie was pushed out wide but still managed to get a shot off, which Forfeited came across and put a block in. Turning it out for an early corner for us. Seconds later, after the corner, Archie played it to Spencer, who battled 11 before hitting one over Hallie. Hedon's 18 headed up, which Josh controls. 14 pressed and the ball bounced through, which saw the keeper out again, but Tom got there first, hitting a shot at the keeper. The ball then bounced off, who hit it goals, but Ford was there to clear it off the line before it was cleared. Kenny then threw this one forward towards the Hedon box to Alfie. He spun the defender and pushed forward towards goal before hitting the ball across goal and outside of his boot. A Hedon defender swung at it, but it bowled off him, and Tom was there in a flash to hit it first time, putting us ahead. It was Tom's first goal of the season. Hedon rallied over the next few minutes for Will throwing to Coop, saw him chest it and head it back to Will, for a ball back to Coop, saw him knock it over a Hedon player, controlling his knee and laid it to Kenny. His ball over, saw Chaz chase then knock it past 8 as he raced down the left wing. He beat 14 and broke into the box, but Hallie was quick to halt his run. A Hedon free kick, which after an offside was knocked back by Coops to Spencer at centre-back. He launched one forward which Alfie chased. After shrugging off Hallie, he controlled on his chest and burst into the box. He had hit a left-footed shot which flew in, beating the keeper at the near post, with everyone looking at each other to see if it had gone in. Alfie looked like he even questioned himself after it had gone in, but you can see it flew in front of the post and into the net. A few minutes later, we had this corner which Kenny whipped in but was heavy clear. It fell for Archie on the edge of the box, who lashed one at goal first time on his left foot with it only just going wide. Another free kick was met by Josh, whose touch saw him go to 50-50 and lose out to 4, but Coops got there first. His first time ball over for Archie saw the ball come off Hallie, which wrong-footed the keeper, and also bobbled as he went to gather it up, and the ball rolled into an empty net. To be honest, that goal mouth is shocking and needs maintenance pre-match. Several minutes later, Kenny threw this one in for Coops, who broke into the Hedon box and put a peach of a crossing which Alfie tried a first time hit, but it was a tad high of the goal. The resulting goal kick was hit towards halfway, but Tom cut it out and Archie got onto the loose ball. He laid it off for Chaz, whose first and second touch was to control, and third to smash at goal, which saw the Hedon keeper made a solid stop palming down before gathering. As we entered the last few minutes of the half, another free kick for Hedon was cut out by Coops, who after controlling, he lofted the ball over the top for Archie to chase. He raced through with Betsy in support, but he took it himself and reached the box before it hit the low keeper's left, putting his 4 up. A Hedon goal kick bounced at halfway before Will got to the ball. He tried to pass for Archie, but it was cut out. Then Kenny got there. After a ball into the half and was controlled before lofting one over for Betsy to chase, she ran in behind goal, hit a first-time shot on her right foot, giving her first goal and putting us 5 up. Betsy had 2 earlier chances, of which one hit the bar, but she finally got on the score sheet for us, hopefully the first of many. With seconds left, Hedon goal kick was cleared only as far as Chaz. He brought it forward, turning 14 inside and out and pushed into the box. He then blasted one at goal as 10 came to challenge, which squeezed in at the near post as we went up 6-0 at half-time. So half-time saw 6-0 up. Obviously we were buoyant and cruising. Hedon fashioned a few half chances, but our defence held firm with very little for me to do, but they stuck at it despite the scoreline. The Hedon coach even joked that I should go up front, but for the time being, Chris changed the formation to 3-4-3. Now we had the chance to experiment. To their credit, Hedon started the second half the stronger. After defending a corner, this goal kick was headed by 11-15. He turned Josh and passed it to Hedon's 6, Tommy, who knocked it past Spencer and into a bit of space, which opened up for him to hit one at goal. It was a decent effort, which I had to take on the second attempt. Seconds later, after my kick out, Josh battled the ball back before Will put a fantastic ball down the wing for Betsy to chase. She blazed forward, hunting the ball down, getting to it before it ran out and swung a brilliant first-time cross into the middle. The keeper missed it and it fell for Alfie, who had a tap-in at the far post, with Hedon protesting a possible handball, giving him his second of the game. A Will throw-in a few minutes later was headed back towards him with 6 closing down. He hit one back towards Kenny inside our half. Kenny controlled it and beat 10 as he brought the ball over halfway before having a go from 35 yards out. The ball bounced, which could have wrong-footed the keeper as he missed controls, giving us another goal. Off camera, a Spencer ball over saw Tom flying down our right wing to chase. It crossed one in from just outside the box, which Hedon keeper tried to take with Betsy, Josh and Alfie in the box, but he handled it into his net by mistake. Four cleared, Alfie backheeled, which Kenny got to, but his ball forward only found 14. He cleared once again with Spencer cutting it out and brought it over halfway. Weighing up his options, he lofted one up and over for Alfie, whose first touch was to head before the second turn and volley and shot between the head and players. It looped over, finding the back of the net and for his hat-trick. That brings Alfie to 16 goals this season. Chris was already thinking about mixing it up further after Alfie's goal to try and limit the score, which he does shortly, putting Will and Kenny up top. Kenny's clearance here cannoned off Alfie's back and Hallie controlled and turned with it. She brought it forward and passed over halfway to 6, who then rode the challenge from Kenny as he ran down our left wing. As he got to the edge of the box, he crossed one in for 15, saw me out to try and cut the ball out, which I got a touch on, before 15 tried to turn it back towards goal with Tom and Will there. Don't adjust your sets as I actually see land up this corner. Yes, that is me playing outfield as joked about by the Hedon coach. And you can see why I'm in goal. As I partly controlled the corner, I actually latched onto it and played it back to Archie C, who crossed it once more, which Hallie cleared but Tom got there. The ball pings around a few players on both teams before Archie gets a shot off, giving us another. This time on Alfie saves, a header free kick is floated in and headed towards goal, which saw Alfie out to save, grabbing the header at goal. Another Archie corner was met well by Archie L. header. The ball flew across goal to Archie K, whose first shot was blocked, but he chased it down and hit it again off a heading play for another. Ford drove the ball forward from his half over halfway and midway into our half before finally being crowded out as Tom, Archie and Coops challenging, which Coops came away with. He brought it over halfway himself and lofted one over for Will. With 14 and 12 playing him onside, Will beat Kenny to it and hit a low first time shot on the edge of the box with the Hedon keeper coming out to meet him, giving us another. That gave Will his first goal of the season. We added another just after kick-off, which was hit skyward. Archie hit it up and Archie controlled it on his chest after it bounced. He then hit one over, which Betsy chased once more. As she tried to get there, 12 got off footing, which keeper coming out, but this didn't deter Betsy. She continued to chase it, stopping the ball on the line. She turned the ball back into Kenny to tap it in for his second. Props to Hedon as they kept going here as 10 brought the ball forward, turning out shell before Coops got a tackle in which bounced off 12 and back to 10 who unleashed a great shot at goal, but off camera Alfie makes a great save pushing it up and over the bar. Alfie had full permission to twat the cameraman. A minute later, Hedon brought another save from Alfie. Really considered renaming this Alfie saves. He made more saves than me. The ball over found 8 who played 10 in once more. His first time shot at goal was caught well by Alfie. With just over a minute left, Alfie cleared this one with a "have it" shout which Betsy found on the right wing who played it into Archie C. He got into the box and toe poked to left foot and which the keeper put out of the air with me in open space ready to tap it in. And with that the match came to an end. These sort of games only come around once a season, if not every few seasons, and very rarely inside the top 2 divisions. By the 10th goal, Chris did try and limit ourselves, hence making the changes, putting Will and Kenny up front and me playing outfield and Alfie in goal. I want to credit Hedon players and coaches though. I've been on the receiving end of similar results before and I'm not going to deny it. It's difficult to keep going, but they did with their heads up and still playing and kept going right to the final whistle. No one wants a stuffing and Hedon could have easily just forfeited, but they didn't. They came down to play a game of football and despite everything it shows they're still willing to fight for their club. Best of luck to them. I sincerely hope they can regroup and come back stronger. No game now until after reset, but that means plenty of refereeing for me.